what's up guys? Brandon here from BigMcLargerHuge Gaming, and today we are going to be theorizing the possible full timeline for Ark Survival Evolved. Now, if you don't know, which I don't know how you could watch this channel and not know what Ark is, because it's like about 75% of my channel at this point. But basically, Ark is a survival dinosaur evolving game where it's early access, but yesterday has just been released, and in my lifetime and from all the releases I've been through, this is probably the worst. I mean, they have the servers down until the day after release day. They have all sorts of things happening all the time. They even put out a patch last night which broke something that made everything horrible, and you can't even get into servers. Oh, all of this for a map that's amazing, actually. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about, because that's not actually part of Ark's story. Now, when I say Ark's story plus timeline, I don't mean the Explorer notes, because they are part of the story, but they are not the whole story. So, what I'm trying to say here is that Helena, Rockwell, Mayan, and Nerva, they are people in the story, but they are not, like, their stories are not the main stories. Also, just a minute here. I have this guy here. Yeah, you may recognize him. I also have these guys inside of him. Don't know why I'm showing you this. It doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm actually not using my regular phone holder today because I can't find the part to it. Yeah, that's a problem. So, anyways, on to the actual part of the video where I tell you the whole Ark timeline up to this point. And I seriously hope that they add Ascension to Scorched Earth. So if they ever make a third story Ark DLC, then they'll be able to continue the story where it is. Because clearly there's got to be some kind of ascension because Helena and Rockwell ascended off of Scorched Earth onto another place, which was kind of weird. But anyways, we're gonna get into the story. So, alright. The year is 300 BI, before Island, because, you know. So, the Tectonians, a race of advanced biological organic plus some industrial things, just basically think Borg mixed with drones, and their four leaders, the Overseer, the Broodmother, the Megapithecus, and the Dragon, set out to try to find new races to protect / capture from their own destruction, and they stumble upon Earth, which at this point is kind of modern day 2017, and the Overseer, sensing their imminent destruction from global warming, nuclear wars, anything, because they're advancing too far, they decide to build these space stations, these hidden space stations, rotating around Earth that will encapsulate a large amount of the human population to keep the race going. Now, some people might think this is bad, but it's actually very good. You're actually, like, basically putting the humans in captivity where they can learn, like, basic survival, basically. So, the Tectonians travel back in time. Some of them do, anyways, leaving the Overseer, Broodmother, Megapithecus, and Dragon with some of their guard robots to work on making the first space station, which is basically a domed border with holographic horizon. And to make sure that the humans won't try to escape, they add in like an ocean around it. Have an ocean around the island. Just a small ocean that you think can't go forever. You think will go forever, but make sure that nobody tries to go that far. So then, to make it more challenging and try to get them to get basic survival instincts, so maybe they can put them back on Earth at some point, they go back to the Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods, and before that, and even after that, for like a quarter of all the creatures, and grab lots and lots of dinosaurs, and basically just start cloning them, and like modifying them and merging them and breeding them. Sorry about that. There's them modifying and merging and breeding until they have this basically endless supply of modified dinosaurs to put on this island. And most of them are predators, so they give the humans more challenge in their new captivity home thing, but also put in herbivores, just not as many. And they also make they also make like different geological regions, like a swamp area, a redwood forest, regular forest with bugs, hot areas, really cold areas with only predators, areas with only herbivores. You know what I'm talking about, the 2 islands on the island. So, yeah, then they go back in time to snatch 4 humans to make their final cloning experiment, cloning humans. So they want people from all time periods. So they go back to ancient China to grab. They go back. One Tectonian goes back to ancient China and ancient Rome to grab Mei Yin Li and Gaius Nerva, 2 very powerful, very renowned explorers, warriors, and overall heroes in their respective times. And another group of Tectonians goes to the present and a little bit before the present to grab 2 scientists, that being Helena Walker and Edmund Rockwell, and places them on their newly completed space station, which the humans now pronounce the island. Now, they captured a few humans before, and started cloning them and putting them on the island, so when these smart people got there that actually knew a few things about the human race, they started mingling and interacting with the tribe wars and everything going on the island. So what happened was Edmund Rockwell and Mei Yin Li got there first. Then Nerva got there. Well, no. It went Rockwell, Mei Yin, Helena, Nerva. So Nerva got there last, and he was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be the ruler of this entire island! And then, everything went down as it usually does, some basic tribe wars. Everybody found out stuff about the artifacts, and they eventually started hypothesizing that the Ark might be a space station, and that the island is like mesh and holographic borders and everything, and nobody knew where the supply drops came from. So they went to the top of the tallest mountain in the volcano in the Ark to try and get some hopeful new evidence, and ended up coming across a cave door, which they found was activated by the trophies of the 3 guardians of the Ark that Nerva and Mei Yin's reluctant alliance of men and women had created. The trophies and their heads, they put those there along with trophies from the seemingly more powerful versions of apex predators and put them all in this terminal, and it opened the door. So going in with what was left of Nerva and Mei Yin's men after the great battle with the dragon, which even in real Ark, that still will kill you instantly a lot of times. Trust me. We lost our massive thing going through that. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't brush my hair. I will keep that closed. So then we're going on, they go through the tech cave and come across the terminal. Now, because they just added some new Explorer notes along with the full release of the game, we now have the ending of the Island Explorer notes, where they are inside the end of the tech cave where the Overseer... by the way, spoiler warning. I'm pretty sure you already knew that. If you're watching the whole Ark timeline, I'm spoiling the end boss for you. So, yeah, Nerva and Mei Yin's men go fight the Overseer, along with Mei Yin and Nerva. Pretty much everybody dies, including Nerva, which is why they kind of aren't on Scorched Earth. But Helena and Rockwell end up going to the center after the battle with the Overseer and having to fight all the bosses again, and then they find sorry. And find that there are actually space stations floating around a now destroyed Earth. So they start ascending, and they're ascending, and they're shooting through space, and they're oh, and they're seeing all these space stations. They're seeing the island run past them, run past them, and they're whoa! And then their whole body just starts to turn to code and tech things as they land. They're shooting too fast to even see it, but they end up landing in the desert, in Scorched Earth. Because if you notice, at the end of the final cutscene of Ark, when you're turning to code, if you pay attention to the ground in that space station, it looks like Scorched Earth. You have that's small and everything, and it's really cool. So I suppose you should go watch the end if you want to get the whole experience. Most people aren't actually beating it legitimately because it's hard. You have to beat all the versions of the bosses just alone, it's basically an on-foot boss battle, because the attack drones and the defense units, they all knock you off your dinosaur when you get hit by them, which means you're on foot the whole time. Your dinosaurs can still kill things, but it is not it is legit the hardest thing to do in Ark, pretty much. So, they get to Scorched Earth. They meet up. It's quite a long time after the destruction of Nosti and, everything. So, what's his name? I forgot his name. John Dekea. John just goes to Nosti after landing on Scorched Earth first. Lucky him, going to hardest map first. And goes to Nosti, which is a city, and it's a great city. There's this Egyptian praetor is there. Is Egyptian. She's Egyptian, and her name is Rhea. So, and you kind of does some stuff, and there's this great city to the east, which got completely digested. It got completely digested by the desert. And it was insane, because they tell you, oh my gosh, the obelisk swallowed it whole. And it's actually one of the caves on Scorched Earth is Nosti. Because you might think that the city is nasty, but it's not. No, that is the great city to the east. The actually nasty is underground. Because, it was like, because, John Dakia and Raya were escaping the ruins of Nasty as it was sinking into the cave where it now rests. And, so things happen years later. Raya is now going around as like Ali al-Aswad, I think. It's a very weird Egyptian name. And she's like helping this brand new city thrive, get away from praying mantises and everything. And there's a death worm attack, wyvern attacks. Everything kind of goes down in these. So at the end, we learn that Helena and Rockwell, it's a Wally al-Aswad. That's what Raya is being called for like half the future. And so they like ascend, I guess, on Scorched Earth and end up leaving Scorched Earth for good. And on to the next DLC map, which is probably gonna suck like Scorched Earth kinda did. Please don't hate me for saying that. I actually do like Scorched Earth a little bit, but just a tiny bit, because like 3 seconds in, you're already dying of heatwaveness. What are you supposed to do? See, that's the thing. But, that is the... Wait. No, I haven't finished. You know what, guys? I haven't finished. Because you know what? We haven't talked about your character, what they went through. So, your character does basically the exact same thing. And at the end, they go off to Scorched Earth. And they're going to go off to the next DLC map. And I'm not talking about Ragnarok, I'm not talking about the center, because, see, custom arcs are not part of the story. Custom arcs are just kind of like arcs there. They're gonna ascend. Ragnarok's gonna have ascension, but it's not gonna be like island ascension where it shows you this massive piece of lore and story of what is actually happening. And see, this is what I love about Ark, because if you know some things about biology, you'll realize that this stuff can't be happening, really. Like, Tyrannosaurus just going through the snow, prancing around, killing things. It's like, what the heck? How can that be possible? How can there be more predators on this island? How can there be a whole island full of herbivores? And how can there be a whole island only of carnivores? It's just those questions that are like, oh, geez, this is not natural. See? And then when you finally get into the point where you're like, oh my gosh, is this like a science experiment? Is this aliens? Is this secretly aliens? Then you're like, wait a minute. I need to do Ascension really quick. Fast forward like 25 billion hours of gameplay, PvP raid protection, and everything. At the tech cave door, go through, and like, whoa, my gosh, it's aliens. So, yeah, that is the story of Ark Survival Evolved so far, okay? So far. If there is more story past this point, I will definitely record it. I will definitely put it up on YouTube like this was. I just have to say that the whole thing that is happening with Ark is amazing. I love where the story is going. I just need it to be complete. I need another Ark. I need Scorched Earth Ascension. I need another DLC arc with the finishing of the story or more, because they're gonna make another DLC map. They said it themselves, kinda, unless they're just going to make like DLC game modes like Primal Survival, Boss Wars whenever they're going to do anything with that thing. Or if they even make Survival of the Fittest for consoles. I don't know. So, yeah, I guess that's about it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Look out for my 2 other Ark videos today. Gonna make 2. Actually, one's basically pre-done, okay? I just have to edit it together for like 5 seconds. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Yeah, that's gonna take forever, and then I won't have any chance to do. Yeah, maybe I should just delete that. Yeah, just, there's gonna be one. It's gonna be one. It's gonna be Ark Adventure Evolved 2. Okay? See you guys then. This is Brandon from BigMcLargerHuge Gaming, signing off.